Okay. So today is the first day that we'll be learning the language. So yesterday we just gone through a quick introduction how MySQL looks like, what is database. If we just open MySQL Workbench is the main UI to access the backend database. Okay. I'm just opening MySQL Workbench. This is the main UI to access MySQL database. Okay. A particular instance should already be created that I mentioned. So when first time you are going to install it, you need to configure your main instance, which is this instance where root is your service name or username. Localhost is the server name. By default, the port for MySQL database is 3306. I'm just going to open it. I'm just providing the password for the root account. So you can also configure the same kind of password while configuring your MySQL database. Okay, so each day you will be going to log in your database instance. You need to provide the password. Okay, I also mentioned last day what is database schemas. Those are different database schemas are available over here. So we created this particular database schemas for our training purpose. Even one more thing I just want to highlight. You can see this particular database is having bold color. Bold in black means whatever SQL query I'll be writing over here, by default, it should be working over here. So I can choose any one of the database schemas as by default. Just I need to right click on top of that and set as default schema. If I just make it set as default schema, you can see it's bold in color. So whatever query I can write over here, by default, it should be working over here only. Okay. As of now, I'm just doing by default part. I can also, I cannot choose any of the thing as a by default. I can control while writing the SQL query. Each SQL query, I can also mention the database name, the database instance, a schema's name over here too. I'll be showing this thing while practicing. Okay. So this is our database schema. I cleaned all the tables. Yesterday, who have joined, you can recall that there are lots of tables available. The previous session, whatever we have taught over there, I kept those tables. But today, before starting the session, I cleaned up everything so that today we will be create new tables and all. Okay. Okay. Now moving to this course chapters. So SQL means the particular language, whatever we'll be learning. SQL is structured query language on top of relational database to do any kind of any kind of data query. Query means whatever language I'll be putting over there to extract data, to create table, anything on top of relational database. It's called SQL or SQL. The full form of SQL is structured query language. The entire structured query language can be segregated by those five types of language: DDL, DML, DCL, TCL, and DQL. Okay. Today we'll be focusing on top of DDL and DML. DDL means data definition language and DML is data manipulation language. Let's start with these two things. So the DDL languages, those will be helpful for creation of any kind of table. Any kind of operation on top of tables architecture. By the DDL language, we can create table, we can drop table. Drop means delete. I can delete an entire table from the database. I can alter an existing table. Suppose I have created a table structure, a table architecture in my database. I can alter it. Means I have to add some more columns. I can update some things on top of table. I can rename the existing column name. This kind of thing we can do by the alter statement. Okay. Truncate means I can delete all the existing record of this table. So those are all kind of DDL statements. DDL means anything related to table structure. Okay. I'll be going through each of the, while doing the hands-on part, we can learn each of the keyword from here. What is DML? DML is called data manipulation language. When our table is ready, means table structure is there, we need to think about insertion of rows or records inside the table. So that can be handled by DML, data manipulation language. What there insert means insertion of records. Update means updating existing records. Some records, suppose it has been mistakenly pushed in insert statement. Some field of that particular row needs to be updated. Then we can quickly use update statement. Delete means deleting existing records. So anything related to data means any kind of data updatation, data insertion, data deletion, we need to follow DML languages. Okay. So let's focus these two things for today. After that, we'll be focusing DCL, TCL, DQL, what are the different things on top of that. But as of now, let's check these two things. So as I mentioned, DDL is data definition language, and there are 4 topics that we mentioned: create a table, alter a table, truncation of a particular table, drop a table. So let's start with creation of a particular table in our hands-on part. Okay. So while creation of table, we need to consider few of the things. Let's first focus on data type and column length for today. I'll be quickly coming what is constraint part. So while creating a particular table, we need to think about specific column. Okay. So while creation of the table, my main thing should be columns. If you can join in the last two or three, last day session. So as I mentioned, in relational database, the main things we need to have columnar structure. So there should be columns, maybe 1 column, 2 column, 3 column. As many columns I can put over there. We need to declare the columns first, means column name and their data type as well. So which kind of data that particular column should be consists. Maybe it should be numerical in nature. So the data type can be integer. So int. Okay. Maybe it's a floating point. Some decimal type of data should be there. So we can declare the particular column as float point. If the data is consisting, the particular column's data is having string data, that should be called varchar. Okay. If the data is having date data type, means it should be taking only date kind of format, then we can use date data type. Those are different data type. Each of the columns should be having their own data type, and whatever data type we are declaring for that table's column, while insertion of the record, we need to follow the same rule. Suppose a particular column is having integer data type. So I cannot insert a varchar for that particular column. I'll be just going through one by one while doing the hands-on. Let me just go to the particular MySQL database over here. Till now, any doubt or any stuck point from anyone? Please tell me if there is any doubt, any stuck point while learning. Please stop me and ask me question. Okay. Anything till now? Nothing? Okay. So I'm going to create a new table in our Teradata training schema. So how to create a table? What are the syntax to create a table? In query editor, just put create statement. Create is the keyword. Create table. Table is also a keyword. And I need to put a table name. Suppose employee table. I'm creating an employee table. Okay. There should be open brace and close brace. Within this brace, I need to declare the column names and their data type. Okay. Create table name. Okay. What I can put employee ID. In smaller case, I'm putting. Okay. SQL syntax is it doesn't matter of case. It's case insensitive. I can put capital employee ID, no issue. I can put small e, there will be no issue. Okay. So SQL syntax is case insensitive, unlike Python, Java, just like this. Okay. I can put anywhere capital letter and all, but some convention is there. Suppose I'm going to create a table. Over there, I cannot put the table name should be consisting of single word. It should not be multiple words over here. Just like in this way. It can be have a underscore in between, but especially the main convention we should follow single word while declaring a table name. Similarly for column as well. Definitely we can declare two words, but there we need to follow some other things. We need to put some extra bracket and all. That thing we'll be learning gradually. Let's focus at the basic thing. We'll try to have table name without having any spaces. It should be having a single word. Similar things for column as well. To understand column, we can use this kind of underscore employee ID. I'm not putting employee space ID. I need to put employee ID. I mean anything, any convention you can use with single word. Okay. So employee ID, EEMP underscore ID. This is our first column. Okay. We need to declare the data type of the column beside it. So suppose employee ID should be integer in nature. Should be integer, int. Okay. Integer, and the last thing we need to mention the size. I can mention any size over here. For integer, actually we should not use any kind of size because integer is having its default size. So we can just simply pass while declaring anything for integer. We can default pass int only. Employee ID int. Just put a comma because this is our first column. All the columns name should be comma separated. Suppose the second column is employee first name. Putting my own naming convention. It should be varchar in nature, and while declaring any varchar data type, we must have to put the size. Suppose first name should be having 30 character length. Okay. And the size is also an important parameter. That means employee first name column should consist of string data type or character data type, and it should not be more than 30 character length. It should be maximum 30 character length. So you need to abide by the same while a particular row I will be inserting to that particular table. We need to abide by these rules. Okay, otherwise it will be throwing error. I'll be quickly showing the same thing while doing the insertion statement means DML. When we'll be learning DML, we'll be gradually checking these things as well. Okay, we can put employee suppose employee last name as well. I'm just doing a copy paste. Employee last name. The same thing, varchar 30 is fine. We can put employee city. Okay. Or employee directly, I'm putting closing the thing. Employee age. I'm putting some employee age. Age is also integer in nature. Let's have these two kind of data type as of now. Integer and varchar. I'm not introducing date now. So this should be our table structure. We have the new table employee having this 4 column. Employee ID is the first column, employee first name, employee last name, employee age. Employee ID should be integer data type and age should be integer data type, because if you can see, generally we should have to put numericals for ID as well as age should be integer in nature, and Each of the column, while declaring each of the column, you can see those are comma separated. The last column, we do not have to put any comma. The last statement over here, do not have to put comma. This is the closing brace of this one. Okay. Let's execute that statement. I'm going to execute it. It has been successfully executed. When we'll be running any query, by default log should be generated over here. Okay. Over here, it's a green tick means successfully executed. We can omit or reduce this kind of log window. Just clicking on top of this, I'll not be seeing any log. If there is any failure while executing any statement, then only we can see this kind of log. Log will be automatically popped up. Okay. So our tab, I mean, that particular query is successfully executed. If I just refresh it, I'm just going to refresh it. Yes, you can see this is our new table. A new table has been created over here, employee. I'm just selecting on top of this. It will be helping me all the information that I used while creation of this database. So you can see there are 4 columns available. Okay, and the data types as well. Okay, I hope it's clear for everyone. This is our first table that we have created now. Now some important thing I just tried to mention you. So as I mentioned, I'm just executing the query, and as I gave this particular schema is my default schema. So by default, the table is getting created over here. But if I do not make anything as my default schema, or maybe I want to create, although it's my default schema, I want to create a table over here only, not here. So that time we need to specify particular database schema name dot table name. So any operation on top of any table, we need to declare not only the table name, the convention should be database schema name dot table name. Let me see if there is anything. Okay, in particular world database, there is no employee table. I'm just putting world dot employee. Create table word dot employee. This convention means schema name dot table name. I'm just going to execute it. It has been successfully executed. No error has been thrown. Let me refresh. Yeah, the new employee table has been generated under world database schema. Okay, so this is how. And general naming convention, actually when we will be live in a project, there are lots of database schemas are available. So that time there is no such options to prepare anyone as a default or just like this. Specifically what we should do, we should be putting this kind of database schema name dot table name. This kind of convention we need to follow. Okay. As of now, I'm just omitting this because everything will be working on top of Teradata training, and I already make it a default schema, so we can omit it. Okay. Okay. Let's go through. I already spoke something about DQL. I haven't spoke actually. This one. DQL is select statement, means I can visualize my table by the select. Although it's not there in today's session, but I'll try to cover this quickly with a simple select statement to check the table only. Select star from table name. This is another query, a DQL query. When I'll be coming to DQL, I'll be mention everything on top of this in detail. But as of now, just I'm putting this thing just to check this table's data. I'm selecting this thing and executing. This is the execution button. I executed. This is my output panel. So you can see all of those 4 columns are been created. Okay. But the table is empty because there is no data. When we will be learning DML, means insertion of records, that time we can insert the record one by one over here. Okay. So this is how DQL also works. Just I'm giving one or two liners on top of DQL just for checking purpose. Today we'll be doing lots of things. How to check it? We'll be running this kind of DQL to check it. Okay. So we have created the table over here. I'm going to the PPT once more time to check what are the different DDS statement. We already learned how to create a table. Now I'll be going to the alteration of a table. Suppose after creation of the table, I could remember it should be better if we have a different column. Okay, suppose employee city. So there are two options. Either I can delete entire table and create a new table. This is one option. And we can go through alter statement. Alter this table structure and adding a new column. How to do that? We need to put alter command. Alter, what is the command? Alter is a keyword. Table is a keyword. Alter table. Table name means which table I'm going to alter. Okay. Alter table, table name. Add. Put add keyword. Put the particular column name which you want to add it. Suppose employee city. Okay. Add employee city. It should be also varchar in nature. I need to also specify the particular data type of employee city and their sizes. Employee city with the size maybe 20. Okay. Let me execute the statement. It is successfully executed. Let's check. Let me refresh the navigator panel over here. Okay, we can just quickly put a cursor over here and we can see the new column has been created, employee city. Okay, I can also check from the columns. Okay, new column has been created. The alteration is working. I can also check it from my DQL statement. Select start from employee. You can see a new column has been added over here. Alteration is just not for adding a new column. We can drop it as well. I can just quickly drop it. Alter table, table name, drop column, put the column name. Suppose employee city was my column. Okay, I can drop it as well. Yeah, this has successfully executed. I can check it from here as well. Let me just quickly check from this statement. Yes, the city has been dropped. Okay, this way we can add, drop new columns, or we can modify any columns data type as well. Suppose I can see my
Saptik,
yeah
can't we use delete instead of drop column?
no over here delete is not work. Delete is a keyword especially working while using DML statement. Okay, let me use delete as per your convention. Alter table, table name, delete column, employee city. Okay, employee city is already not there. Let me delete employee age. Okay, so it's a invalid SQL query. In alter statement, I cannot use delete keyword. Okay, it's a
Okay.
wrong convention. So drop column should be there. I'm not going to drop because another column will be dropped. So it should be okay. Let me drop quickly. Yeah, it successfully dropped. But you can see lots of columns has been omitted. We currently have only 3 columns to go ahead. Okay, fine, no issue. I'm just removing this part because the log is all time it's not necessary and it will be minimizing my working part as well. So I'm just clicking on this thing. My log section has been It's been hidden over here. Okay, so we are able to drop this way. We can rename an existing column. Suppose I want to rename my this column, particular column. You can use alter table name. This thing is fine. Just we need to update this thing. For each of the statement, this is the compulsory steps. Alter table. Which table you need to alter? This thing is there. Then rename is a keyword. Uh, rename column. Okay, column is a keyword over here. Which column you want to update? Suppose employee first name. I'm updating employee first name. Two is another keyword. Only first name. First name, this kind of thing. I'm updating this name to this name. That's it. So alter table name, rename column, existing column name to the new column name. I can update in this manner. Yeah, this has been successfully executed. Let me just quickly run it. You can see it's been updated. I can also check it from here as well. Yes, you can see. Now we are only having this three column. This column name has been updated. Okay. One more thing I just tried to mention, I can update any kind of data type of existing column or any kind of sizes as well. How to do that? Alter table name. Modify keyword we need to use. Modify column. Which column I want to modify? Just mention it. Suppose employee last name. Varchar 30 was there. Let me just put varchar 20. This many length I do not require over here. So I'm updating the length to 20. Successfully updated. But that thing I cannot check from here because while running the DQL, it will not mention the sizes as well as the particular data type over here. So I can check it directly from here. Okay, so you can see it's been updated to varchar 20. Someone was telling something. Sorry.
No, even I was just want to mention the same.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I was just telling if we run any DQL statement, we cannot see the size. DQL is just for the representation of table. Okay. Gradually, we'll be seeing lots of things on top of this. This is actually our main thing. Select star from table name. You can see entire tables, data with structure as well. But the data type of the column can be visible in the metadata information like this way. Or I can create or okay, I'll be just going ahead with some more deeper things. As of now, we can check it. Just in the left hand panel, just select the particular table and over here it will be showing me the particular metadata information related to this table. Okay. So this is how we can alter an existing table. By this alter procedure, whatever we have, what things I have just covered, we create a new, I mean, we have added a new table, added a new column, drop a new column, drop an existing column, sorry. Then whatever we have done, we have modified some existing data type. We can modify the data type as well. I can modify same way, modify column name. You whatever change you want to mention, just mention this thing over here. You want to make it an integer, just put it an integer, int. Okay, so in by modify keyword, we can update the data type as well as size of the existing column. We can rename the column name. So those kind of thing we can do over here. Okay. Next statement, what it is? Truncate a table. Truncate means deleting all the records at a single time of instance. Okay. If we just execute truncate command, what is truncate command? truncate table name. This is a truncate command in DDL. It will be helping me truncating all the records from the table at a single instance, single point of instance. If I just execute it, but I cannot see any result because I do not have any such records over here. So that if I run or if I do not run, there will not be any effect on truncate. Okay. So you can see there is, if I just select it, there will be no changes because there is no records. After having some DML execution, then we can use the same command again. Okay, we'll be demonstrate this command again after DML, after learning DML. Then only we can see the difference. Okay, as of now, I'm deleting this thing. The last thing is drop a table. Drop table means the entire table structure will be dropped from the database itself. Over here, we can see in this database, we have only single table called employee. Just we have created this employee table and all. If we just execute this statement, drop table name. Okay. I successfully executed it. You can see only single table, it was not there. Employee, the single table, it was not there. If I'm just going to run this thing, it's throw an error. Table data training dot employee. They're maintaining this convention schema name dot table name doesn't exist because before running this thing, I just executed the drop statement. That is why my select query, while I'm running the select query, it's throwing this error. Okay. So any doubt so far from anyone? We just covered DDL with very basic manner. Now I'll be going to have some constraint on top of each of the table, maybe today or tomorrow. But till now, the basic things we just learned. Any issue from anyone? Any stuck point?
No, clear.
Okay, okay. Thanks. Okay, those who are quite new at the data side, from SQL perspective, who are quite new, please let me know if there is any stuck point.
No, good for now. I'll
Okay,
call you out if I have.
okay, fine, fine, fine. Okay, moving to the next topic, that is DML. Before going ahead with DML statement, let me recreate the table. Otherwise, there'll be no such things I can insert. So I'm just recreating these tables once more time. Create table name. I'm just re-executing the statement because I dropped the table from the database. That is why I'm recreating the table once more time. Yeah, the table has been successfully created. We can quickly validate the same thing. Yes, employee table is there with having this kind of convention. Okay, I'm deleting these things as well. This is no more required. Constraint, just think, I'll be learning showing constraint. Maybe not today, tomorrow. Constraint, what is constraint? How to impose constraint while creating a table or alter a table. It's a bit, very much. It's not actually basics, it's intermediate level, but it's very, very important. So the constraint will be helping me, helping you to understand to impose a particular constraint or particular column. Maybe the column should be the primary key of that table. So I can define the same thing in constraint and all. Not only primary key, lots of things are there. Lots of constraint are there. I'll be quickly covering this thing tomorrow's session. Let's quickly Okay, constraint. Yeah. Let's quickly go to the DML topic one by one. Insertion. What are the different DML? DML means data manipulation language. Means when our table is there, when we successfully able to create our table, we can able to insert data, means insert record, insert rows within it. How to do that? We need to use this kind of insertion command. By the DML statement, we cannot update anything related to tabular structure. That can be only doable by DDL statement. DML is responsible for only data related things. So DML means data manipulation language. Within that, first topic is insert. We'll be going to insert our first record. Insert into, those are the keywords, insert into table name. I'm doing a copy and paste. Insert into table name. Values. I can put individual column names over here. Just like insert into table name. Which column? Employee ID, first name with comma separator. But as of now, it's not required as a basics. Just start with this thing. Insert into employee, put values, put open brace and close brace. And based on the order of the column, we can insert the value by comma separator. Suppose employee ID. First employee, I'm just going to push, suppose employee ID is 111. First name, let's put a name, suppose Raj. Now one thing, when I'm going to insert any varchar, we need to enclose this thing within a single quote. Okay, for integer, it's not mandatory to put in a quote. We can put definitely in a quote, there'll be no issue. But generally, we should not put. We can put, we cannot put, that is our choice. But if it's a varchar, if it's a date data type, we must have to enclose this data within single quote. This is mandatory. When learning the DQL statement, we can see the same thing. When we will be using any filter or any kind of thing, just remember, if the data type is varchar, we must have to enclose this data within quote. Okay. What should be last name? Let's put, okay, Kumar. Kumar is also varchar, that's why I put quote. The last column is employee age. It's integer in data type. Let's put 40. Raj is 40 years of old. Okay. Let me execute the statement. It's successfully executed. Let me check, select. Let me run this now. You can see our first data was been inserted into the table. Okay. The same way I just mentioned it, the thing over here, it's been inserted. Okay. Let me do one more thing. One more. I'm just 112. I'm just going to insert another record. Suppose what I can put? Yali Kumari. Let's the age be 30. Okay. Or let me put some keyword over here. 30. Maybe I can enclose it within bracket. Let's see what happened. I'm going to insert it. It throws an error. What is the error? Incorrect integer value 30. Means over here, I just tried to insert 4 different data, but it's throwing me error while inserting this. Why? Anyone? Why it's throwing the error?
It's not the
It is not
defined
in.
data type.
Correct. So I have defined employee age as integer. So I must have to put this thing as integer. Okay. So I need to put integer over here. Similar thing for if we just declare anything as date data type, it should be date only. If I declare anything varchar, it should be varchar only. So we must be careful what is the DDL of the table. Accordingly, we need to insert, maintaining the same data type, we need to insert in the table. Let me insert this. Yeah, it's successfully inserted. Let me just remove this window and let me run this. We can see a new row has been inserted again. Okay. Likewise, I can insert another thing, another row. Let me just insert the last row for today. Let me put Kamal, Roy is the surname. Let's put 32. Look, it's also inserted. So we are currently having 3 records over here. Okay.
Basically, if you want to, if I didn't give the employee last name, what will be the default value of the varchar?
Yeah, varchar's value is already, varchar only. But for that particular record, if I do not put anything, it will be null value. Okay, null.
Okay.
A null should be passed over here. Null means nothing. Okay, those things I'll be coming. Those things. Just I mentioned that I can also control this kind of thing over here. I can put particular column name and I can pass the same thing over here. Suppose I don't want to pass employee last name. It's not a mandatory field. First of all, I'll be coming to the constraint. So I'll be imposing some constraint. This is not possible in today's session. A bit intermediate level. And I'll be trying to insert in the same manner. If I just forgot or that particular field is not required one, then if I do not pass, if I simply pass nothing over here or a simply blank space, blank space is a different thing. If I just pass blank space, the thing should be blank over here. If I do not pass anything, that should be null. Those are two different things. I'll be quickly coming. Today it's not possible. I'll be just quickly cover all the basic stuffs of DML. Tomorrow we'll be showing this thing. Okay, but as per your question, it should be null. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So we have covered insertion. Let me just go ahead with update statement. What update will do? Update will be updating any existing data. Oh, we have 3 records over here. Suppose I want to update the age of Kamal. I suddenly got or suddenly I received that at the beginning we have, mistakenly it's 32, it should be 35. Okay. So we can update any kind of data. Similarly, we have used alter statement while updating any tabular structure. So any kind of data related updatation, we can use update command and update that particular record. Not only this, anything about this, any kind of data I can update it. So how to do the update statement? Update table name, suppose employee, set the column name. Set is a keyword. Which thing I want to update? Suppose employee age I need to update to 35 for this particular row. For this particular row, I want to update this thing as 35. Set employee age equal 35. If I just execute it, I did not mention for this row. Okay. If I just execute it, all the rows, all the value of employee age should be updated to 35. Everyone's age should be 35, but this is not this. That will not be the good one, or that is not the required one that we are asking for. We need to put some row identifier over here. How to do that? We can use some filter operation, just like where employee ID equal 113. So where is a keyword or this kind of row identification marks I'm doing over here to identify only this rows employee age I need to update. Okay. So update employee set the column name equal this, where by the where clause we can specify the particular row Okay, for this record, I want to update this employee age. This sales value I want to update. Okay, that is why we are putting this thing. Yes, it's updated. So this is very, very important question comes maybe in interview. So while using update or delete statement, why we should use where's? If we do not use where statement, if we just delete it, if we just going to execute it, then update will be applicable for entire table. You can see all of them's age, all of their age has been updated to 35. It's not my desired one. If this thing happens, suppose I have millions of records. At a single update statement, all the tables data got updated. It's not the required one. My things will be escalated to the higher management that someone has been updated the table's particular columns value to a same single value. Okay, that is why while using update or delete statement, suppose I want to delete a particular row. So I need to specify the row identifier by where statement. We will be learning details about where statement while we will be learning DQL. We'll be learning filter operation over there. Then we'll be learning details on top of where. As of now, just remember where is, by where we can just identify a particular row. Okay, just like this way. Okay, so this is how update keyword should work. The last command for today is delete. Suppose I want to delete something from a particular table. Suppose this row is not required. The employee has been resigned from the company. So I need to remove that particular row from the table. So we can use delete statement for that case. Delete from table. Okay. Delete from table. Now if I just execute this thing, the same thing I'm just mentioning, it will be deleting all the records. So that is why I need to identify something. Identify by where keyword. It's not only top of employee ID. I can also just go ahead with employee name, employee first name, where employee first name equal adds this is a varchar. I need to put it in this way. I can also identify my records by this way. Why I am picking employee ID? Because in the ideal scenario, maybe a particular employee table can be having multiple, same first name. Okay. And employee ID, I have chosen this thing as this is my primary key. I haven't imposed any constraint till now, but employee ID should be unique for each of the employees. That's why the best way or the ideal scenario, we can identify a row by employee ID. Okay. But over here in this scenario, as Kamal is only one time, over here, so I can also use this kind of thing. Where first name equal Kamal or where last name equal Roy. This kind of thing. If I just put where employee age equals 35, then all the records should be deleted because everyone's age is 35 now. Okay. So that is how while putting this kind of identifier operation, where keyword, we generally used to have the unique key one. So employee ID 1 equal 113. I'm just going to execute this statement. I executed. Let me run the select query. Yes, the particular thing has been deleted. Okay. If I'm just going to execute everything without where clause, if we just run this query again, you can see all the data has been deleted. So be cautious while running delete statement. Okay. I'm going to quickly insert this once more time, putting some value. Just to check the data only. Okay. So now we are having data as well. So we learned about DML statement as well. The main keyword of DMLs are insertion, updatation, and deletion. Okay. Now one thing was left, truncate in DDL. Truncate is having the same kind of operation of delete. If we do not put any such kind of row identifier over here, if we just execute this statement, whatever it will be work, truncate will be having the same functionality. But my question is now, why we are having two different keywords then, truncate and delete? Truncate is under DDL statement and delete is under DML statement, but their functionality is same. If I just execute truncate table, that time I showed this thing, but there was no such effect. Now, if I just going to execute it, truncate table name, you can see there is no data. So all the data got dropped. My questions to you, maybe we'll be discussing this thing in tomorrow's session. What is the main difference between truncate and delete? Although their functionality are same, if we do not run any kind of row identifier operation of delete statement, if we run only this thing, it will be having same operation just like this one. Okay. So what are the difference between a truncate statement and delete statement? Just treat this thing as a homework only. You can search it in Google or tell me the answer in next session. Okay. Till now, any doubts so far?
No, clear.
It's clear? Everyone, it's clear?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. So we learned how to create new tables, how to update any kind of tabular structure, and we also learned when a table is there, how to have some records on top of it by these DML statements. So some intermediate levels of stuff just like constraint I told, we'll be learning in tomorrow's session, as well as this kind of null things, as you mentioned, we'll be learning these things as well. So we'll be gradually learning these things in tomorrow's session. Okay. Okay, that's all for today. Let's connect tomorrow with some more things on top of DDL and DML. After that, we'll be touching DQL. Maybe tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, we'll be learning DQL. Okay. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.